Peter, one question.
Yes.
I mean, it's all about being good or being bad.
Yes.
How bad can you really be? I remember that one screenshot where you was also able to kill a kid.
Yeah, I mean,
what's really mean?
We never released that screenshot. That was actually someone hacked into our system and found.
So
that
you were
screenshot.
just testing a little bit.
No, just killing kids.
No problem here.
I sort of thought, wouldn't it be fantastic within Fable to have kids? Because no games have kids in, and so we had this simulation, and kids get up and they go to school and they go back. To my horror, I went into testing. This is about a year ago, and I went into testing. I looked at someone's screen, and they were all dead. And this person had killed all these children. I thought, my God, we can't have this. We can't have all these dead kids. So now, and that's where that screenshot was from the time when we had allowed you to kill anything in the world. So now we make sure that you can't attack children, and in fact you can't use weapons in towns. But we would never have released that shot.
And how do you decide to be good or to bad? Is there some kind of question or multiple choice?
No.
Turning points? Or?
No, there are some quests that you can pick. Which obviously there's the evil quest about kidnapping people or killing people, and there's good quests about saving people, but also just walking around in the world, and I'll show this later on in the next segment.
Yeah.
Walking around the world, you just see someone being very horrible to someone else, and if you choose to save them, you're being good. If you choose to join in, you're being
kick
evil.
them all.
Okay, let's see a little bit more of Fable.
Okay, so what we're going to look at now is we're just going to be looking at some of the town stuff and some of the ways that your character can change. So this is a town called Oakvale. I'm known in this town already. They know I'm a bit of a hero. And we're just going to show you how your character can change. Now, Simon has taken all his clothes off. Not a good idea if you want to chat people up, incidentally. But
not really.
I
tried it once.
Yeah, I tried it twice. Actually, I tried it 10 times.
But you're older. I mean,
that's right. And this looks a lot worse, I can tell you. So let's just have a look what your character would be like if he gets a little bit more evil. You can see his eyes change and they get darker. Now this doesn't happen like that. It happens slowly. So if you're doing evil stuff, you'll notice he gets a snarl. He'll stoop a little bit more. His whole demeanour will look evil. If he starts looking a little bit stronger because you've been using more weapons, he develops that essential hairy chest. Of course, we've got the Union Jack underpants. That's one item of clothes that you can't change. If he starts getting a little bit more mystical, if he uses his magic more, then he'll start aging more, and he'll look a little bit more mystical. So you can see now he's a little bit strong and a little bit magical, and he's a little bit older as well.
So you have hundreds of possible combinations the way you look.
Thousands of changes. I've just shown you the different segments of it. Actually, you should make him older and a little bit more mystical.
What's about getting older in the game? Is it do you suddenly switch to an older character like in Zelda Ocarina of Time? Or?
No, absolutely not. There's parts of the game which means that time passes, years pass. For example, there's one really cool bit in the game when you get thrown in prison, and you've may have developed your character. You're thrown in prison, all your weapons are taken away, and you have to find a way to escape from prison. You've only got one opportunity a year. Every year you mess it up, your character ages another year. You'll notice his hair starts growing really long, and he sort of loses his muscles a bit. And so it's things like that within the game. And also, there are events like you can go and get married. You can just hang out with your family for a while. So time will pass. It's up to you. I must admit, though, there are bits in the story which we have to encourage you to be a hero again. So sometimes your family meets with horrible accidents, which is not so good.
From time to time.
From time to time. So, also, clothes and weapons. There's a lot of clothes and weapons within the game. But we'll just wander through town now. And
do you craft your own? Can you craft your own weapons and clothes, or do you always have to buy it?
Generally, you have to buy clothes. You can craft your own weapons. You can augment.
Yeah, you mentioned it before. Yeah.
You can augment your own weapons, but you can buy the clothing shop if you want. If you get enough money, you can actually buy the shop that's got the clothes, and you can buy a barber's, for example, and have your own haircut. Just see that Simon's walking through town. Everyone's cheering because he's a bit of a hero at the moment. He
looks really, really mean.
Yeah, well, he doesn't. If you come towards, he's changed his look actually, and just for this cheat. Do you want to make? He's going to cheat again, and then become really mean. You see, this guy's running away because he's just cheated and become really mean. So this is the whole point: is whatever you do in the world, we really want players to experiment with stuff. He can walk into. That's the guard there. He said, "Just leave me alone." Let's go down.
Will you have voice samples in the game in the final version?
Absolutely.
Because right now you have the text boxes.
Well, I'll show you a bit of voice later on, but we haven't done the voiceovers yet, so they're all programmers' voices, and you don't want to hear that.
No, we just have to mention it that that's not the final version of the game.
Yeah, no,
so a lot will change.
Yeah, definitely. So can we go down to the pub, Simon?
Yay! Oh, they love you.
Yeah, they do, because I'm a hero. You know, they will. You'll notice that the people in the world will start dressing like you and cutting their hair like you, and they'll have the same. Because you're a bit of a pop star. If you're a hero, you are.
Lester, don't cheat. I killed him.
I'm sorry that we have to wait for our first pint, because we have a short break, and aber wir kommen gleich zurück und dann gibt's ein kleines Bierchen und noch jede Menge mehr von Fable.